Welcome to Sound of Hope News. I'm your host, Wei Fang, and this is my co-host,
Kathy Zhang.
Kathy Zhang.
Hello, everyone. Good to see you again.
Hello, you're familiar Chinese-American journalist from San Francisco, California.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so gonna continue to bring to you my interview with Vanessa Oliveride. And if you didn't have a chance to watch yesterday's show yet, just a very brief background about him. He is like the third generation Chinese Communist Party's high official. And his grandfather, used to be considered as one of the founders of the PRC. And this young man is only 24 years old. He lives in Southern California. His life just turned from like a very spoiled kid to also a very gifted writer in China. And then his father just was screwed by Xi Jinping.
Yeah, was purged.
Purged by Xi Jinping back in 2015, 2016, and he became just a very common man. And then now he, came to the United States, came back to the United States because he studied in Stanford before, and now he has accomplishment in his career and life, but now he decided to speak out. So one of the things we talked about yesterday was he found out there were ballots, United States election ballots printed in China. So he did some fishing tactic, brought out some of the evidence. And then, because actually he's a student. He used to be a young student from China. And as you may know, in the United States, around 250,000 Chinese students from mainland China, give or take.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So, we opened the door to the United States, and that's actually how Wei and myself came to the United States because of, we are able to come here to study, and we're really grateful. But there's one government is really taking advantage of these students. So Vanessa is gonna just give us more insights about how the Chinese Communist government are using these students, controlling these students to serve their own purpose. So Vanessa used to be like the vice president of a very large overseas students who went back to China, and they form an alliance called the New Returnee Elite Alliance. Supposedly having a lot of members, and they did a lot of flashy things back in China. So he knows a lot of things, inside stories. So let's see, first of all, just from continuing to talk about the infiltration of the CCP, the Chinese Communist government, into their infiltration of the United States election. So I asked Vanessa, what else do you know? When did they start to infiltrate?
Well, as far as I know, this has been a decade or many years since they joined the WTO. So first of all, they trying to use the money since I was young because here I want to talk about my background because my mom, she working for the Chinese government party. She is in Guotaiban, National Taiwan Relationship Office. So, and then she studied at the Beijing University. And they have like a MBA, 总裁班, all the rich chairman, CEO, they get into there. And every summer, when I finish my school, I'm back to Beijing, then I join their meeting too. Because my mom wanted to train me to learn something after I graduate. Mm-hmm. But so during that class, it's not like actually you're going to there learn something. Is you're going to there exchange your resource. which means you get higher resource, you get higher class, you get higher profit. But that is not only for this action is not by those CEOs. Actually, they have to follow by the party. The party give them order. They get close to those politicians. First, they're trying to use the money to fraud them, but that's worth like 10 years ago. They don't know the role. Of course, it's real. So, but that is not the most terrible thing. They get strong. First of all, they say like, okay, we join the war. We're trying to use the money, and we're trying to get on with those, for example, president or vice president or chancellor, congressman. But then they realize if they just bow their head, it's not working. Because there isn't like China. You bought a mayor, then everything becomes through or pass. Have you the green light? Because United States, you have the Congress, and many people, members, House, a lot of meeting. Then once they follow, they start to learn it. They send the exchange student J1, F1 to United States to learn this system. The most terrible thing is they learn it, they come back against the system. Use the corrupt way to doing that. They're still growing. They're sending the culture effect, trying to brainwash the whole world. Because they're using the money, then they thought, okay, it's not working, then let's try something else. They're trying to use the system. If the guy is against China, then they'll support his enemy, because enemy's enemy is friend. Once his friend get elected, well, they in the back, they win. And also Huawei, and also those people from CSSA.
Tell us about CSSA.
中国学生学者联合会. I don't know that name in English.
So they are basically
easy.
the Chinese scholars and students in the United States,
Yes.
right? Yeah. So tell us what you know about them.
They're spy.
How?
Because I know them. Well, because I was in Los Angeles. Then there have many people of those exchange students. Well, for some low-level people, they're just the 公费留学, country party will pay for the tuition. They come to there for exchange. For them, just for see the system how this work. They are not the most harmful type for United States. The most harmful type is those people who add F1 visa, but for study the technology. They go into their study for stealing, and that everything is happened during Obama government, because he extended the visa from 1 year to 5 years. Before 2015, we only got 1 year's visa for F1, but he extended for 5 years, and no limitation. You can start whatever you want major in the United States, which means there is no difference between citizen and foreigner. But most of them just, after they graduate, studied, they go into the big tech company, steal the tech, then back to China. Recently case, you can see the Tesla, Apple, and I think Amazon too. They're the core tech gets stolen by China.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the most harmful thing. And Obama government, they're not stopping those action. They allowed it. They allowed this to happen.
Yeah. So since there are so many Chinese students here, right? So I asked him, like, how many of them actually work for the Chinese Communist government? Maybe some percentage. Let's see.
They are not directly work for the party. Party won't give to the top people directly direction, tell you you should do this, you should do that, because that looks too obviously. Their control is in another new level, which means, for example, I can give you a very detailed example. 北美留学生日报.
So it's the North America
Exchange Daily or
Students
something.
Daily. Okay.
Its co-founder called Lin Guoyu. 30 years old. In China, I can call him loser.
Why?
He got nothing. But he back to China, he's claiming himself, I graduated from United States, I get very succeed in school. And he get an investment from Tengxin. That's in 2015. 500,000 RMB. And then Chinese realized, okay, we have to using the exchange students to get propaganda and advertisement to control their brand. And that back to that time, there have many starting up company. They need money. So in China, there have Tengxin, Alibaba, Baidu, IDJ, 真格 Foundation. Especially 2015, 李克强在创客 building up a company. Then everybody just get a CEO title. But where their money come from? It's not directly from the government. The government give the many policies to support the students. But for the return, they have to listen to the party. And you cannot do something, cross those lines. If you cross those lines, it can ruin their life, which means no money, no profit, and those circles are gonna kick you out because you will just look like a alien or something. I was in that circle, and I can't stand that anymore. You have to see your supervisor. You have to talk to them, bow to them.
Who are the supervisors? Are they related to what you mentioned at the CSSA?
They're not directly in the CSAC. Actually, they are more higher level for the CSAC. For example, IDG Capital in China, Hongshan Ziben, Xu Xiaoping, 真格基金. Those communists or people who work for communists, they are all controlled by the party, because once you listen to the party, you get the investment. And China, they want an image. It's like, oh, look, those exchange students. Look how they succeed. They get a big company. San Francisco get Valley, and Beijing get Zhongguancun. That they want to get create an image for them. And in 2015, I was the 辛海归精英联盟, exchange student union, which means we have 1.1 million members in China. That's back to that time we were the largest exchange student union in China, and I was vice president. And I wrote a letter to President Xi Jinping to saying like, oh, how grateful China under your role, how lucky we are. But I want to see that isn't come to my true, because in China you have to do this. If you don't do this, you cannot get your profit. People will start to block you. People will start to ignore you because you're alien. Your thinking is different. Outside of the party, you'll never become to the top. Yes, and he responded to me.
Oh.
Yeah, because back to that time, I want to join the Chinese Communist Party to get higher position. Yes. But I can't stand this anymore because that's painful. I can't just say something what I don't want to say, and they force me just treat me like a puppy. I don't like this feeling. And the most horrible thing is, back to that time I was only 18 or 19, but my acting isn't like a normal kid. Acting like I'm 40 or something. That's painful. I cannot talk free what I talk. If I talk too free what I talk, people are gonna say, "Oh, you are a traitor. You are a traitor of the China." Or they call me Hanjian, but I'm not even Han national. How the I can be the Hanjian?
I wanted to follow up on you mentioned that those how the money didn't directly come from the Chinese government, but come through like Tencent, Baidu, and how those companies relates to the Chinese government then.
Well, first of all, if you use in China, they don't have Facebook. They use everything: QQ, WeChat, Alipay, WeChat Pay, 携程 Ctrip, Little Red Book, 小红书, and so basically they got a circle. They don't have YouTube. They don't have Twitter. So this is just a circle. In China, you have to sacrifice your privacy. Once you sacrifice your privacy, you can get the convenience of the like. But who support this? I mean, is this those companies support it? But who allowed this? Chinese Communist Party. They allow this happen because then they can see everything what it takes on their. They are connecting with the department. Also, they have the internet cops wanting to check what you're thinking. If you're saying some humiliating words to the party gonna arrest you, give you 15 days or those kind of like stuff. Before they using this system in China, but since they getting bigger and bigger, they trying to affect the whole world. Especially for the face recognize. That's very dangerous actually. Because in China, if you go check in the hotel, you have to do the face recognize.
And so what you mean is the companies like Baidu or Tencent, actually they're controlled by the Chinese government then?
Obviously, if look Jack Ma, he doesn't follow by the policy, then what happened to him? His IPO project just got lost. So look on him. That's the best result. What else I can say? That is obviously the result everybody knows.
Yeah, so then I asked him, how to identify those, Chinese students work for CCP because obviously probably not everyone, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so let's see how he responds.
They studying here, they growing up in here, they learn here, and they make better. That's very horrible. Because I believe the Constitution, I believe the freedom, I believe, for me, I'm just a normal person. But for many people, they very care their own profits. They don't want to lose their job. They want to get more container with China because China is a world factory. You cannot lose the money. You have to live on this life. But if we just standing, keep silence, we just see a monster. Get growing, then enough bigger we cannot defending anymore. Once they get bigger enough, then that's done. Like right now, people keep silence for those Trump election. Before I think the American, we got it. Even you don't agree a people's opinion, you let him speak because we accept those diversity culture. But right now, we only accept one voice. Another voice, if we don't like it, we just build a wall by ourselves. And also for Asian people, they shy, they don't talk. People usually ignore them. The stereotype of Asian people is shy, don't talk, rich. That's the stereotype of Asian people. So I decided to come here, broke the wall.
Okay. Yeah. So I will skip the one how he respond to my question how to identify those who work for CCP, and he actually, to summarize his points, he actually said it's actually a gradual like a process because a lot of people they don't really do it willingly, but for one reason or the other, they were lured to do this.
Yeah, so I don't know whether you can even recognize the voice, can make sense of that, and so basically that's what happened is the reality.
Yeah, so I don't know if anyone would make some connect correlationship, with what's going on now. How he talk about, in China or the social media. Social media is like its own circle, right? And they have internet police. If you write something, say something not according to the party line, you will get even arrested. But right now, what's happening in here on the social media, you will get some warning,
It's
right?
a lighter version.
It's lighter
and,
version. So people ask, our personal opinion on the socialism in the United States. We will say it's like already a soft socialism
Yeah.
on the way.